Do you know there is a $100 billion railway line that's under construction? Sounds impossible, right? Well, it's very much possible, and it indeed costs $100 billion. So what is this project, and why would they invest so much in a rail line? Let's find out. Welcome to our channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so you won't miss any future updates. With that note, let's get started. The Middle East is home to completed construction projects. Again, one of the world's warmest construction techniques is being utilized in the Middle East. The Gulf Cooperation Council, also known as GCC, is currently designing a railway line. The Gulf Cooperation Council comprises 6 of the region's wealthiest nations. Together, these nations can collaborate to build the Etihad rail network, a railway line that will connect the region in a much more efficient manner. With sand dunes to traverse and mountains to tunnel through, the task's difficulties are significant and proportional to the cost of overcoming them. The rail route will be part of the Gulf, but it's difficult to reshape its transportation space, reduce its carbon footprint, and initiate a unique amount of financial reversal of events. However, for it to be useful, it must overcome the political, financial, and strategic obstacles preventing its implementation. The project's cost has been estimated to be $200 billion. Beginning in northern Kuwait, the road passes beneath the coastal cities of Al Jubail and Dammam in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia before passing through the capitals of Bahrain and Qatar. The road would then narrow in Saudi Arabia before entering the United Arab Emirates, where it would pass beneath major cities such as Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Fujairah before reaching its terminus in Muscat, the capital of Oman. The development of the railway would significantly improve regional real estate by reducing transportation times and costs between major GCC cities and ports, boosting cross-country trade flows, and attracting investment. According to business figures in the Gulf, the shorter travel times may benefit the commercial and recreational sectors, a region in which a number of Gulf nations are seeking to expand. The project would also go a considerable distance towards ensuring the regional collaboration accelerates the establishment of the Common Market and Customs Union. In February of 1981, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman met in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to form the GCC, a political and economic alliance. Together, they have made a great deal of money from oil and gas, so their economies have been closely tied to the oil market from 2008 to 2009. During the Great Recession, the price of oil plummeted, and as a result, the economies of the GCC went through a difficult time. In 2009, the GCC approved a massive railway project that may contribute to the goal of fostering permanent unity among all 6 member states. This project's value can range from $100 billion to $250 billion. It has been discussed by all 6 countries' representatives that each country can contribute an equal amount to the completion of this project. As they will connect the nation's ports with its trade and production zones, these rail lines can potentially improve the Middle East's economy. At 1,200-kilometer-long freight and passenger railway can extend from Gulf of Oman to the Persian Gulf, an additional important aspect of Etihad Railways. The sub-project is additionally expensive, as it could cost approximately $11 billion. The initial public rail network in the UAE is being constructed in 2 phases. The first stage was completed in 2016 and stretched 264 kilometers between the Habshan and Shah regions, the national capital, and the port of Ruwais. Late spring is a particularly uncomfortable time to be in the office as temperatures soar. Evening temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius are optimal for the operation of certain building locations. Etihad is inherited in the desert, as well as in China, Saudi Arabia, and the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, where sand creates a harsh environment. These nations devised solutions such as converting sand dunes to mud over many years by relocating hills and erecting vegetation barriers to block wind and sand. Etihad Rail will construct 20 over-bridges, 2 under-bridges, 10 road underpasses, and 18 smaller underpasses for future use during the first phase. In addition, the development company constructed 2 industrial facilities for the production of concrete, created private mistreatment for the production of massive railroad sleepers, and gathered the unrefined materials that form the basis of the tracks. Each pair of sleepers is 2.6 meters long and 340 kilograms in weight. Attached to the main rails with an affixing framework, they're used to aid in sinking the track and ensure the train travels at a maximum speed of 200 kilometers per hour without causing any damage. Trains have stated that this initial route is not transporting passengers, but rather as much as 22,000 tons of coarse sulfur per day on 110 carts. The element is extracted from the oil fields in the nation's capital and processed for export at the port of Riyadh, where the returns are used to manufacture everything from batteries to fireworks. As of mid-2021, Etihad Rail had transported more than $30 million tons of granulated sulfur for Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. Etihad claims that a single train journey reduces carbon dioxide emissions by 70 to 80% compared to if the same journeys were made by truck. This can be crucial for an economy with one of the lowest carbon footprints on the planet. This productivity has also contributed to the emergence of the Emirates as the leading sulfur exporter in the world. China, the world's largest exporter of the element, which also appears to be associated with Phase 2 of the project, likely received a significant amount of the sulfur. Beginning in 2020, the second phase of construction will extend the network 605 kilometers from Guaifat on the Saudi Arabian border to Fujairah on the east coast. The contract awarded to China State Construction Engineering Corporation and SK Engineering and Construction for $408,400,000 was responsible for the design and development of 139 kilometers of the rail line. When completed, the organization will be able to connect the nation's major modern ports to exchange points, enabling 50 million tons of goods to be transported annually throughout the organization. The objective of the Stage 1 project was to construct and connect a road through all 6 countries to facilitate the movement of goods across international borders. The objective of the second phase of the event was to allow passengers access to the roadway. And while the United Arab Emirates Etihad Railway is making extremely slow progress in developing the entire Circle Line, all other nations must be doing the same, which is not the case currently. As part of the 2030 and 2040 plans, these countries have begun implementing new Middle Eastern development projects. The GCC Railway appears to be a project from the past that'll never reach the planning stage or possibly become a reality within the next decade. The wealth from massive amounts of oil in the Middle East has made this development a necessary step in creating a sustainable real estate market. In the end, however, the project's future remains uncertain, and it'll be one of the largest engineering failures in the history of the Middle East. In fact, despite progress being made on the Etihad Rail organization, the GCC Rail project has not typically been resolved. GCC nations momentarily obstructed Qatar's association, jeopardizing Qatar's portion of the rail line's project. This project's completion has been delayed by a few years due to a combination of a pandemic-related factor and an oil price estimate. Due to the region's difficult terrain and climate, the GCC Railway also faces numerous technical obstacles. In February, Qatari media reported that construction of the section connecting Qatar and Saudi Arabia would soon begin, with engineering designs and a track layout already in place. This bolstered expectations for a resumption of the project, although the precise rate at which the GCC railway network can advance is still unknown. In December of last year, an original media report stated that officials hoped the railway would be operational by 2025. Due to delays, the long-awaited GCC railway was likely to be resurrected, a move that would transform Gulf trade and connectivity. Individuals will gain access to new opportunities and employment as a result of the increase in the nation's economy. Saudi Arabia and the Emirates have already developed a new program called the Rail Studies Training Program, which generates enormous economic opportunities. In my opinion, when this project is completed, it'll elevate the UAE to an entirely new level, a prosperous economy. Now we understand why a $100 billion railway is being constructed in the desert. Let's hope this mega project is a great and successful one. Mega project development is nothing new for the United Arab Emirates, as we all know. So let's await the next mind-blowing mega project and conclude this one for the time being. What are your thoughts about this mega project? Do let us know in the comments. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you at the next one.